Hello and good afternoon again. We are on the third, I believe, Liquid Galaxy streamings. And today we have a training about the Play Store and how the actual contributors and some of the other people is helping us on this GSoC and for the Liquid Galaxy community have to prepare their projects to be presented on the Play Store. And for this, we have today Alejandro Yan, one of our mentors. Last year was a GSoC student that did perform a very good job regarding this question of uploading the applications to the Play Store. We thank Alejandro for his job for past year and this year. And also we have today mentor Yash from India. Alejandro is in Murcia, Spain, and Yash is in India. And we are located now in the Liquid Galaxy Lab in Lleida, Spain. We have here our main Liquid Galaxy Lab. We have several others on the screens, and I cannot show you, but there are something like 8 people here with the producers and people attending the streaming in the place. So the agenda is about the Play Store, how to prepare your programs to the Play Store, and also a few tips on the location on several instances you have to have in your application. And the last thing, I will do some special words regarding some kind of new stuff that all the GSoC contributors for this year have to take care, have to think about. So first, let's go, Alejandro, and it's your turn. Start your slides.
Okay. Hi, my name is Alex, and I'm going to start with the Play Store, how to release our apps. Okay. This is our agenda. Okay. How to release on the Play Store. Me. Before doing anything, the first step is to prepare some basic stuff which is required while publishing an Android application on Google Play Store. Okay. We need a working Android application tested by the Liquid Galaxy community. This is the most important. We need a bundle with a GKS file. It will be always the same. Why? This is because every version of your app on Google Play has to be seen with the same GKS file. Okay, this is really important. We need the app name, maximum 30 characters, the brief description, and a complete description. Okay. We need the app images, such as the app icon, okay, and the big image. These images will appear on the main screen on Google Play Store, and we need the screenshots between 2 and 8 maximum, okay? This is the most important images because every user want to see what is your app, okay? And this is not necessary, but it's important to make a small video for your app because many users wants to see what functions have our apps, okay? After this, we started with Google Play Console, okay? First of all, we need to create an account on Google Play Console. Google will ask for a one-time commitment fee of 25 euros. And after paying this one-time fee, we can submit apps to Google Play Store for free, okay? The first step is this Google Play Console dashboard. Here, you can see the Create App button. After clicking on the Create App button, you will see this screen with some parameters of your app, like the app name, the language, and Google will ask you if your app is a normal application or a game. I suggest you to check the application box because Google can ask for extra information and we don't want that, okay? So after clicking on Create App, we are going to this screen, okay? This is our application tab, and we need to fill it with some information. Here we will use the stuff what I have told you about, like the app name, the brief description, and the complete description, okay? And the graphics, the icon, big image, and screenshots. Okay, you will need to know if your app could be used on mobile phones, tablets, Chromebooks, etc. Because it is interesting to make screenshots on different devices, but this is not necessary because Google Play Console will take your screenshots and sometimes can adapt to different devices, okay? The next step is one of the most important, the Google Forms, okay? We will need to fill some Google Forms on the policies and programs section. I will talk you about the most important of them. First of all, privacy policies. This is the most important. You will need to use a link like this, okay? I recommend you to create a privacy policies file on your GitHub repository like this, but don't worry about it because you will use the same file I used last year to upload apps. But in your case, maybe you will need to adapt the file information to your application, okay? But don't worry about it because I can show you how to make it. The age restrictions, okay? Why? This is important because we want Google knows that our apps are friendly and everyone can use them, okay? You know, Peggy 3, Peggy 7, that type of thing. And the permissions. This is really important because Google wants to know what type of information you will use from users. So take time to fill this information and take time to find every permission that your app are using, okay? And step 5, uploading the app, okay? Finally, okay, we have our app bundle and we want to upload our app. So to do this, you have to navigate to the production, next API release tab in the menu, and after this, Google will ask you to manage your app signing. Here we don't need to go for manage app signing process. Let Google handle this process by itself. Just take your app bundle and put here, and you will see the charted SDK, API level, and screen layouts. After you send the first version, Google will check the app between 2 days and a week. They will send you a message if there are problems. But don't worry, I will show you how to make it. And finally, there are a couple of things very important I have to tell you. First, please make sure your app hasn't got background permissions if it isn't necessary, okay? This is because if your app uses background permissions, you have to make a video using the app function with the permissions and upload the video to YouTube. If your app doesn't use these permissions, please make sure your code hasn't got them, because last year we had many problems with background permissions and it could be a really problem for us. Okay, your app package name has to be different from Google default package name com, doc, example, doc, etc. Okay, and your SDK version has to be minimum 30. The most important thing I want to tell you is please don't lose your app GKS file. This is because every version of your app bundle has to be seen with the same GKS file, okay? And please don't release app testing versions if it isn't necessary, because it could be a problem later for us. And that's it. That's all for me. Just I introduce you.
Okay, awesome. Hello everyone, I'm Yash and I'm here to guide you on the UX perspective, and I will just share it. So, all right. So I have some practical experience. You all know for the La Palma volcano tracking app or the La Palma Gold Track that was released last year. And I think many of you have seen that code base, and many of you have taken some thought or implementation from that code base. And maybe it could be helpful for you to just jump into the user experiences that we want. So first of all, where are we? We are between that May 29th period when our coding officially begins, and before the July 10th when we have to submit for midterm project. We are somewhere in this. We are in the month of June, and actually it is the period where the coding has to be. I would say you should be having a good grip on what you're doing. So I think by now most of you have an established LG connection and will be sending some data to the Liquid Galaxy. Hopefully that data is something very, I would say, good in graphics. It has a good user experience. The buttons are nicely placed, stuff like that. So that your app is nice to the user. It is something that the user will stick on. And I will be elaborating on some of the must-have features from the perspective of user experience, and features like orbit button, logo button, and some accessibility controls. They need some special attention, and I would want that you have that in mind when you are making your application. So let's dive into how I designed the La Palma Volcano Tracker app, because that could help you to design your application for this Google Summer of Code. So let me start with the orbit button UX. So the orbit button should have the principles of POUR, which is it should be perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. So something like that. What comes into our mind is to have an orbit button that can also rotate along with when your I would say the Liquid Galaxy orbit or the Fly 2 has started. So you are rotating around the place and you're giving a nice scenery to the user depending on the data that he has selected on your application. And finally, there is an orbit button which is allowing them to orbit around that location. And you are adjusting a good UX for a suitable button instead of placing just a normal button, which does not tells you much about the orbit or something like that. So this sort of a UX could be really good if you can implement that. And if you have some more innovations or you want to go for something even better, then you're free to. Just, I would say, if you want any sort of tips or you want to know, hey, is my suggestion good? Or if I'm doing this correctly, you can always reach out to any of your mentors or even to me on the basis or the principles of UX. Now let's go to the KML logos because they are very important. Something that people miss out is they do not take care of the aspect ratios of these logos. You have to take care of that. They should appear the way, I would say, length and width wise, the way that they are made. You can scale them, that is all right. So when they should not appear is a very important discussion right now. So the KML logos appear on the top left, leftmost Liquid Galaxy ring, as you all know, and they contain all the attribution info. The reason they are important because we are getting some of the information from these corporations or companies, and we need to attribute them. Simple enough. And they also appear. This is a point to note on the splash screen and also on the about page, which you may or may not have implemented at this moment of time. So the KML logos must maintain your right aspect ratio. Your app's logo should be on the top. A reference image like the one provided on the right side, you must have seen by now. So for the UX part, it should automatically appear when the application is launched. I think most of you have done that. And it should also automatically disappear when you're closing the application, which you can query how to do it. And it can be toggled using the logo button. So there could be a logo button, there could be a task section for yourself, and you can have your various tasks like reset LG, shut down LG. I think most of you have implemented it, and you can just toggle that logo on and off with that. So an important takeaway and an enhancement over my own La Palma volcano tracker could be that the KML logos need to disappear when you are suddenly closing or you are just swiping up your application and you are switching to some other application. So it could be that the Google Earth also has that KML logos gone, signifying that your application is closed now. Awesome. So I just yeah, I have to go there. So now the next UI is the KML balloons, the beautiful representation you can see on the right side. So we would want something that is a bit descriptive, that has your information, which is the purpose of a KML balloon. So it has to have a dynamically generated graphic onto your Liquid Galaxy rig each time some of the specific data is clicked upon, and it should have the best IA or the information architecture, what we say practices. So you have your title, you have a subheading, and then you have the description down. It could be a little bigger if you want, and your image, which is signifying that what it is for, and some other information. So have a good description of what you have generated on your Liquid Galaxy with your KML, and have such pop-ups and some images like this. For a good UX, the KML balloon shouldn't fill up all the space on the rightmost LG screen, which was also a problem for the virtual installation of in the virtual installation when you are using the La Palma app. So use some viewport implementation. So that can depend on the device's viewport, and they can snap into the height and width, and they can fill in some space but leave some behind. So it is not entirely occupied. Lastly, you can try your KML balloon should have I18N or the internationalization plugin, which was a thing in the Voltrack app. So if you switch your app into Chinese and you are having your KML balloon popped up, so it will write all this historic track map, the various years in Chinese. Awesome. So now the last but not the least, it is never the least part. So it is the accessibility features. So the way Google brings in, they want you to have your application to be built for everyone. And why not Liquid Galaxy, as we are also created and founded by Google in 2008 by GSoC. So I would want that for the estimated 1.3 billion or the 16% population, which is experiencing a significant disability today. And I cannot lay enough stress on that. You should create some stunning user experiences which are also helpful for them. So have some usability testing. I think you should be having one testing right now, or you might have not done it right now and you are about to do it. So usability testing is that you are having a person to test that application for you, and you do not tell him what the buttons do. You just facilitate him that what is his intention to click on, and you just see that if he is able to understand your application. And it is better if that person is from a less technical background. So it could be quite a crunch for him how to make your application work. And this could give you maybe a bit of a headache, but it will let you know that what is the important user experiences changes that you have to make. And you do not have to correct all of them, but just the critical ones. And finally, embed Google Speech so it can speak up for the people. And also have some good big headings for your text so it could be easily visible. And also have in your setting that user can scroll into the different screen sizes. So scroll into the different font sizes. So if you want to increase the sizes of the text, then he has an option for it. Maybe just a single option, but it should be there. And have a good contrast, like a 4.5:1 contrast is quite optimal. And say no to small text that have low contrast, because we do not want something that is unreadable to be on your application. And bring in multi-language support if you could, and also have some sort of colors that are enhancingly in a way of a reading mode, and place those buttons maybe close to the thumbs. And all the other features, I have this link I will provide to you on Discord sooner. And they could tell you some other app features which are a necessity for UX, because there are many of them and I do not want to incorporate every single UX experience here, which would be a long thing to do. So yeah, this is all, and I would lay stress, Alejandro has already said about it, but launching your app to Google Play Store, which is a very crucial steps for the project contributors, and the time has now come. Maybe you have seen this slide previously also, but now this is the slide, and this is the time to lay stress on it. And it is that we publish your application for its usefulness and its recognition. So have these two key takeaways from me as well, that make sure you have passed all the necessary requirements, then you are making us approve it. Do not send us your testing applications that are still in your testing stage from yourself. And have a digital signature and publish a release version of your application, which digital signing, I think Alejandro has already told you. And the released APK or AAV files would be the ones that we will be uploading to the Google Play Store and having your application deployed. Finally, your application will be launched onto the Play Store, and hopefully all of this happens before the final submission date. So yeah, that is all from my side, and I wish all of you good luck. And if you have any problems, they will be answered at the end of the discussion.
Perfect. So I'm going to explain. So the most important thing always, guys, for all the GSoC contributors this year, maintain daily means every day, your work log and GitHub. Why? Because if you don't do that, remember, we have had some problems with some students this week, because if you don't do this, not all the other mentors in your own project or all the other mentors from the community, remember that we are something like 30 something mentors, I don't remember, a lot of people, cannot see and check your work. And also at some moment, maybe Google takes a look also at your work. Then if you don't work, you will be getting not your money. So update every week your work log and GitHub. This is a must, please. And also, of course, you have to attend every week your meet with my mentor and other attendees like the listening mentors and so on, okay? Then, important things. As we have been talking since before GSoC started, since June 19th, we really need a weekly build of your app ready to test. Whatever thing you have. I mean, if only at the very beginning you only have 2 screens and 2 buttons, it's the same. The question is that you have to have something that is compiled and it's on the drive we give to you, not your drive, but in our drive, that the many students that will be in our laboratory and other laboratories and also the external contributors will be testing your applications and giving you feedback. So since June 19th, we need June 19th first, and then every Monday, we need your weekly build of the application ready to test, okay? Stored on the drive link we got to you and not in other place. And remember, as Mentor Yash has said, use your logos accordingly. I mean, start to put your logos both in the application, in the help menu, at the splash screen of the application, and also on the Liquid Galaxy in the top left screen. Remember, the Liquid Galaxies with S4 are the 5 screens, not 3, like the one you have seen at the very beginning, and it's just me, okay? Let's continue. Important things. Midterm evaluation day, July 14th is the Google's official midterm deadline. This means that for July 14th, you all and us, the mentors and the contributors, have to be file the formulary we will be sending you. But also, we need some other questions, internal questions for the Liquid Galaxy project. And this is the demo day. Demo day is actually 2 demo days. 1 demo day for the midterm and 1 demo day for the last at the end of August. What is the difference between 1 demo day and the other demo day? The midterm demo day is pre-recorded. This means that you, all the contributors, have to send without excuses, no excuses, July 10th or before, we need a demo video recorded for this demo day because we need a few days for editing the video. Store again in our drive folder, the one that we sent to you. Full HD, always horizontal. Please do not record videos in vertical, please. And then first you have to look at the camera, explain your first work, the first what you have done, what have you achieved, what troubles you find in the meeting, how the meetings with your mentor have been, and everything you want to explain. And then after this, you will have to share your screen and showing up your application, the Android application, Kotlin, Flutter, whatever you're doing. I think also there are some Java. I mean, we have many different ones, and also we have some in Chromiums. So you have to show both the control application and also the virtual rig with different screens against the one you are sending the commands from the application. Okay, so first your face and then your screen. Remember, July 10th, no excuses. Anything else? Continue attending these Liquid Galaxy streamings are doing. We are doing a huge effort to train you and also to give you visibility. So please register to the events as the following instructions are sending for you on every event. Attend live if the event is live, like today, we are live. Some of the events will be pre-recorded, it depends. And like today, be prepared to do questions on the Discord. After my talks in 2 minutes, we will go to the Discord and we will read your comments, your questions, and the mentors or me will answer questions. If you can attend live, because live is live and you can have other things to do at this moment, watch live later in YouTube, okay? Expect around 8 more streamings before GSoC ends. And think about that every of you will appear at least 2 times. Every contributor will appear for the midterm and the last demo day, and also in some other moments. And I will, as admin next to Claudia, we will be sending you instructions in advance to what you have to do. So another question. Thanks, as always, to all GSoC contributors, external people, external contributors, and the staff of Liquid Galaxy Lab. Today we have Paul and Eloy doing the producing of the streaming. And also, I always say that if you do some work for us, you will get some visibility. So today I want to say thank you to this external contributor, Siddharth Muhil. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. I'm sorry. I'm sure I can't pronounce it too well. But the point is that Siddharth has been done in the past weeks very extensive research in many posts, and he has updated our large, almost 200 people team of the Liquid Galaxy, the photo that we have at liquidgalaxy.eu domain. So thanks Siddharth for the contribution, and it's still not ready, but in a couple of days you will see the new photo with all the people. So 100% you will find your photo there. And if you can see your photo there, please send emails to us at the Liquid Galaxy Lab at gmail.com and we will review it. So let's go to the Discord. Let's change the thing, questions and answers. So I'm going to change to the Discord if everything is right. Are you seeing the Discord, guys? Okay. So maybe you can do a picture-in-picture, and you can show the meet. No, you cannot show the meet because you are seeing the Discord. You cannot show the meet. A picture of my face. Okay. So let's see if there is any question for today streaming. We never know. Maybe there is no questions. Any question for today's streaming? Let's wait a few minutes. And if there are no questions, we will stop the broadcast. But usually people is shy and waking up 300 users in Discord. So producers, this camera is looking at me and is in the smaller screen or the bigger screen? The small one. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn the camera over to you. Sorry. For the people to see you. Hey, say hello. Hello. Producers, also some attendees. And it will be not impossible to have the camera. Is it okay? Is it okay? Yeah. So it seems that there are no questions today. Fantastic. Let's wait for a minute. Sudaño is writing something. Let's wait what Sudaño writes. Alejandro and Yash, stay here tuned for the answer.
Yes, here we are.
Now Prayak also is writing something. People are usually, I don't want to say shy, but a little bit late on the questions. But remember, this is a community. We have to collaborate, to contribute, and maybe a question you do is also very important for the other people. So let's start with Sudaño. So the Discord is on the screen. Hi, mentor. Good evening. Hello, Sudaño. My question is for mentor Yash. Yash, up to you.
So he says that I was going through your code base on Voltrack app, and I was wondering, could you share some resources which you might have used to integrate the SSH2 API to connect with the Liquid Galaxy rig? So I would share you my instance. What happened was during my time, I also had this issue. I couldn't connect my SSH. It wasn't SSH2 at that time. That was the update. But it was SSH, and it was that I was looking at Karini's code base for the RAS application. And I tweaked a lot about it, and it was like pre-selection time. So I was understanding how do I get connected or how do I set up my Liquid Galaxy connection. I researched upon it. Maybe the settings panel had a set state API which changes on or say client.connect and the client.disconnect function, which are asynchronous. And finally, I was able to set up my SSH. And later on, I updated it to SSH2, which had no problems. So if you are wondering the SSH2 setup, I would say look at Karini's code also. She has, you would be quite confident with her code. She has a small code base for the settings page. I have done a lot of language additions and day and night features, which is making it a huge code base. So, and that would help you. And if you will then switch from SSH to SSH2, it will be quite fairly easy. You will have no problems. Awesome.
Okay, thank you, mentor Yash. Sudaño, if the right answer is right or you need any other clarification, comment, please write. Let's wait a few seconds for the Prayak that is writing a very long question because it never ends to write whatever he's saying. Comment, man. Okay. There is a problem in LG. Only a problem, man? You're lucky. After connecting with LG and modifying any live XML, the update is not shown until LG is restarted. This problem was also seen in the last streaming when the various app demo was shown. Some was not showing of the logo of the left. Okay. I'm going to try to answer. Thank you, Sudaño. Okay. Let me try to help on this, and maybe Yash will add something at the end. The problem is that remember that Liquid Galaxy uses broadcast communication. So the main machine sends packets to the other servers, but my machine does not wait for ACK because he uses broadcast packets without answer. So sometimes the other machines don't listen because a packet collision or something, and something happens. For this reason, and it's very important, one of the things we ask clearly, and Mentor just has said this in the presentation, one of the things we ask clearly is that you have to have a menu with the option of cleaning the KML you send. The KMLs can be the bubble with information of your project, can be a bubble with the logos, or an image, can be whatever kind of KML, a geometry or a point or whatever. You have to have an option in your program that cleans all the KMLs you have created and restarts the logos and makes the logos appear and disappear. It has to be an option in every program. So also, let me say that one just arrived contributor is working also on this. Next to every of your applications, there is a contributor that has asked for creating a code, and just this morning we have agreed he will do a simple application for the Liquid Galaxy doing this. This means that we will have a little application that the only work will be connecting to the Liquid Galaxy and saying, kill the logos, restart the logos, kill the KMLs, so something like cleaning the Liquid Galaxy. So that's true. So Prayak, it's the contributor obligation to control the showing on and showing off for the content on the screen. So sometimes the contributors don't did that right, and this happens. And also maybe at some point packets are lost. I don't know if Yash, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to add that the answer that you're looking for, first of all, it is good that you put attention to the detail. If there was some problem in the modification of the slave, maybe you were sending some cable balloon and it wasn't getting updated and you had to restart it. So the clear answer is to have a set state and a refresh state. That also happened, and you can look into the satlogs code repository. So if you will enable a set state and a refresh state, then your slaves will begin to refresh. And on modifying anything, your slaves will be able to, I would say, get the query that something has changed in it, and they will be able to render that graphic. So it would be answered in the satlogs repository in code form, but I would say look at the set state and the refresh state. Awesome.
Okay, thank you, Yash, for your contribution. Prayak, it's a matter of testing, and of course, there are things. This is more related to the networking, and hope you can solve this, you and all the students, because this happens to every contributor to the Liquid Galaxy. Marco is writing something. Let's wait for Marco to write whatever question he has. Any other questions in the disc? Write those to the Discord. So, Marco, I think you were writing something, but I don't see you any question. So we'll wait for a few seconds and then close today's streaming. It's been almost an hour, 45 minutes. And for a training session, that's more than enough. So if we have had some kind of trouble in the streaming, sorry, and also in the other way, I would like to thank our producers, Paul at the video and Eloy at the audio, for the collaboration. And as you, they are students and they are learning, but I'm pretty sure they have done very well. And okay, I don't see the questions from Marco, so this will be everything. Thank you, everyone. Please remember to the slides we did. Update daily your GitHub and work log. Do your weekly meeting with your mentor. If there is any question, contact the Liquid Galaxy Lab at gmail.com, and stay tuned for other next communication and streamings. Take care. Bye-bye.